Hey yo, it's been a long time coming, but we are back again finally. So how are you guys doing? Because today we're going to be looking into Watson's Ursa in this high rank game. And so immediately we're going to be looking at his starting item, which you can see here he has the Orb of Frost. It is pretty much a replacement for the Orb of Venom that they used to have, as it also gives the movement slow. And instead of poisoning the enemy over time, it now actually stops their regen by 13%. And so for the starting lane, he's going against the Takis and the Underlord. And you can see that the lane itself was already pretty crazy, as the Takis already went suicidal mode, and you can see that both sides actually took a lot of damage because of the Warlock's Fatal Bond as well. And so we're gonna fast forward here a bit, as you can see that Watson actually harassed the Underlord a bit, but his true plan was to actually get more creeps in order to get his level 2, and you can see that the moment he hits level 2, he starts pouncing on him and start hitting him until it dies. And yeah, this is just another example of how important hitting level 2 is, as it can actually secure you a kill in your lane. So do remember that creep management in order to get XP is pretty important. And so 2 minutes passed by and the Ursa actually got the Orb of Corrosion instead of a Boots. But both options is actually good because it's movement speed related. But anyways, you can see that the Takis actually committed his explosion bomb on the Warlock, and they immediately put the Fatal Bond on them. And you can see how the Ursa just play around the Underlord's ring and secure a kill on the Takis. And so this is where things get interesting in a new patch of Dota 2. So you see, we all know that 7 minutes is a new Wisdom rune, and for some reason the Warlock is behind the tier 1 tower before the Ursa. And the main reason why they can be so aggressive at the tier 1 tower is because of the Wisdom room location. It is now closer and it's actually much more enticing to fight for it. And so this new patch actually forces the safe lane players to be more aggressive, which actually makes playing the safe lane more fun. As you can see from here that they are actually diving the tower so hard, and for some reason Warlock is level 7 while Ursa is still level 5. So maybe we were watching the wrong carrier replay after all. And so here what you're witnessing is 9 minutes in is actually the Ursa's first official rotation to the top lane. And so even though that most of the enemies were already dead by the time he reached there, but it's pretty important to know when is the right timing to leave your lane, and in this case is to actually help the teammate at the top lane, which is having a huge team fight. Okay, so now 3 to 4 minutes later, this is where it gets interesting for the Ursa. You can see that he hasn't finished his Battle Fury, but he already joined the smoke gang together with his Slardar. And so the reason why this is important is because you gotta have the mindset to help your teammates if your teammate is actually having a better lane than you. So it means that you don't always have to ride and carry the game on your own momentum, but you can also just leech off your teammates' achievements, which in this case is the Riki and Slardar, because they actually crushed their lane pretty hard in the early lane. Okay, so now for another example of a new patch in this game. 50 minutes in is where the Tormentor comes out, but it spawns at the bottom side of the map. So Ice Rock is pretty bored, and it's actually forcing players to have more teamfight interaction, and you can see by the way they plant this objective in the game. And you can see that the moment Ursa woke up, there's already Takis mine everywhere, as they're already prepared to try to win this team fight. But this is where you see that 15 minutes in, the Tormentor just spawned, but the enemies are already here camping on the Tormentor, forcing a team fight, or at the very least, denying and gatekeeping the Tormentor from the enemy, as Ursa is a pretty good hero to fight together with the physical damage from Slardar's ult. But ultimately, our hero Ursa here died, as he's been fighting together with just a Battle Fury, but actually achieved pretty good result by killing 3 heroes already. And so now the game is nighttime and it almost hits morning, and you can see that Ursa has a new item, which is the Blink Dagger. The first thing they do is actually walk up the triangle, as they already have a ward planted over there, and so they kind of took the high ground advantage already. And so immediately in the map you can see the Queen of Pain actually shown over there, together with the Takis pushing the top lane. And just like that, they actually have the information that the entire team wasn't together, and that's why they took a team fight, as they found a Slark pouncing on them to start the fight. And as for the Ursa, the easiest target was the Mirana, as the Slark and Queen of Pain escaped easily. Okay, so 20 minutes in, the Roshan actually walked to the bottom side, and this is, I would say, is actually the game winning play, because they actually sneak in the Rosh while the Dire side was actually in their triangle and the bottom lane, but they didn't actually contest for it, so they actually give up free Rosh. And yeah, so with the Aegis, Watson actually got his Skull Basher, and then the Radiant just took any team fight that appears in the mid lane, which is not the high ground, and that's where they pretty much got control of the game. And so do like and subscribe if you enjoy my videos, and I'll try to make more in the upcoming weeks, so stay tuned.